our goal here was to sort of combine entertainment, tech, business, all the subsets of businesses and categories that exist here in New York City, and to bring them together.
Hey, Jesse.
How's it going?
All right, it's good. It's good. Welcome to Lumos House number 3.
Thank you. My third Lumos House. 3 out of 3 I've hit.
Exactly. For this third house, so, okay, everybody. Jesse, Middleton, Flybridge, he's the man.
That goes on my business card.
Exactly. And Lumos House is this concept where we bring investors, founders, builders, and put them all together so people can have meaningful and thoughtful conversations.
And have you had many meaningful and thoughtful conversations thus far in 3 houses?
Actually, yes. Except, we had...
Maybe not our first conversation, less thoughtful, I don't know.
No, the first conversation was great because I bought the pop yams after it.
There you go.
which now we do not leave the house without them. Everywhere we go is like pop yams.
They talk about venture capitalists as value add, and there you go.
Exactly. Exactly. Even in Miami was a crazy time, but we had some really amazing conversations. And so far, Lumos House number 3, and I've seen so many people that were in Austin, they were in Miami, and now they're in New York, and it actually feels like it's becoming a family, like a community, and that's the goal. You guys are doing an event with us today. You've done one in Austin, which is amazing. Your brother played at that event.
One of us has musical talent. It's not this one.
So what do you think about Lumos so far? What's your experience?
Listen, I had no idea what to think of going into it in Austin. I've hosted a lot of things over the years at South by Southwest, and it's a tough place to get a crowd to show up, especially not right downtown. And I think you guys did a phenomenal job of both curating the people and creating a reason to be there and a space to exchange ideas. I met some fascinating people. I met some folks that came in from all over the world. The first night we hosted this house there, which was sort of New York tech meets Austin. My passion is New York tech. I've been here for 15 years, but it was great to host, 100 plus people in Austin in that house. I think when I came in, I thought to myself, this is a good one-off event, one-off experience. And then I attended the house in Miami after you guys had a crazy time changing houses multiple times, and still met some fascinating people, some great people, had great conversation. And so I'm excited to do it, in my backyard here, so to say, here in New York. And we've got, I'm not actually sure, I think it's probably up at 600 or 700 people on a wait list tonight to come into a house, which I am certain is not going to support that many people.
Yeah. Talking about Miami, the funny part is that day when everything happened actually ended up being the best evening of them all.
That's how it goes. It goes. In the early days of WeWork, we would ultimately wind up with these great parties we'd throw, and then eventually the police would show up and shut it down because we were being too noisy in a residential neighborhood. And yeah, we'd move from there to upstairs with a smaller group, and that was always the special time when it was all the people who actually wanted to hang out with.
What's the coolest thing about Lumos? We're still testing stuff. For Lumos New York, we're doing talks and fireside chats and the podcast and stuff like that. What do you think is cool about Lumos, and what do you think Lumos is missing?
Yeah, look, I'm a little biased. The reason we're doing the event tonight called The Melting Pot is because I think one of the coolest parts about New York City is that you wind up with people from all walks of life. And our goal here was to sort of combine entertainment, tech, business, all the subsets of businesses and categories that exist here in New York City, and to bring them together to share an experience. And so I think for me, the best part, having come from the background of building a company that invested heavily in community, is bringing people together, giving them the space and the freedom to create a conversation that is their own. It's a little bit like an unconference style that just happens in an evening. There's no predetermined topic necessarily. We have lightning talks tonight, and they're about all sorts of things. I can't even begin to describe them, frankly. And so you're going to leave here hopefully meeting somebody really interesting and important in your life going forward. and they're not going to be somebody you would have crossed paths with before. And that was my takeaway in Austin. It was like we did a New York City house. Most of the people were from New York in Austin visiting, and yet the vast majority of people I've never met before. And so to me, it's that sort of experience that Lumos has brought together, and it's been really fun to see it thrive.
Well, first of all, thank you for being a part of Lumos from the beginning. I think that's created a lot of value, especially in Austin, because, okay, everybody knows you and everybody knows Flybridge, and the fact that you guys did an event with us gave also credibility to what we're doing, and I think it contributed a lot to the success of Lumos House Austin. And like you said, the amount of amazing people that were there from all walks of life, from everywhere in the world. There were people from Ukraine, people from Sweden, people from New York, people from LA.
Thank goodness my New York event did draw some New York people. That was important.
Exactly. But it was fantastic. I mean, Lumos New York so far has been incredible. The level of people is amazing, and the conversation that came out so far out of Lumos are pretty incredible. I think the good part about it is that people feel safe to talk with an open mind without thinking, hey, somebody, I might say something wrong, or I'm going to screw things up.
I almost always say something wrong, so that's
so
great.
am I. But looking forward for the event tonight. Like you said, there's a lot of people on the waiting list, so we're going to see who manages to hack their way in. And let's wrap Lumos New York. We have 4 DJs today. You guys brought 4 DJs.
From all over the city. We want to make sure we cover the different boroughs, the different styles. Sheree on my team is a DJ herself, and so I'm very excited for her to close out the night.
Amazing.